a shooter. Hello again, everybody. Steve, lighting to my path outdoors. It's New Year's Eve, so I guess December 30th, 2013. Planned on going to Riverbank this morning, cooking breakfast and trying out some of our new toys we got to play with for Christmas. But the riverbank was flooded, so we came up here in the mountains. Everything is soaked. It's rained hard for 2 days. A little bit of snow spitting through the air now, and just enough on the leaves and stuff on the ground where you can say it's been snowing. But we found us a nice little camp spot. We're going to get some fire going. Like I said, everything's wet, but we got plenty of this. Things like this hanging in the trees, dead wood. It's not been laying on the ground soaking up water, so getting a fire may not be the easiest thing in the world, but it shouldn't be that hard. We're going to gather us up a good bundle of wood, and we'll get back and show you our little camp spot for today. Well, we got us a little fire going. It's burning at the moment. Everything is soaked, even the stuff hanging in the trees covered with ice. So we're still going to fight it all we can, do a little cooking, because we brought some really good stuff. But we used a little aluminum foil square that we carried in our wallet all the time as a base to keep the flames reflected and keep it from drawing moisture from the ground. We got a little cedar tree right there. Let's see. There you can see a little bit of it. So we just keep getting limbs off of it and throwing it on top of the wood we've already got on there. And what that does, the cedar's going to burn. But as the flames lick up towards that and catch up, it almost puts the damper wood in like a little oven. The flames lick it, and then heat from top and bottom both, it dries it out. You can have a fire with wet wood. You just have to get it started to begin with and plan ahead. We've got 4 or 5 long pieces laying here right beside of this fire. Let them dry out as we go. So shouldn't be that big of a deal. We're not hunting once again. Sometimes we hunt, sometimes we just come and play, but we always bring a gun with us. We got the 270 muzzleloading. Deer season is in, but we're not really up for that. We've hunted up here a couple of times for deer and not seen any sign or anything, so we just brought the 270. Bear season is in. Coyote's open season. Fox is open right now. So just in case, we're ready to take something home with us. But with the winds blowing, it's cold. It's probably, if I've got any signal, I'll tell you what the temperature is. It's spotty up here. It's like it goes on the wind or something. About 30 degrees right now. That's back home. It's probably 25 up here. Wind's blowing a little bit, nothing major, but when it does blow, it's cold, really cold. So we found this little spot. If I can show you here, if not, I'll get up and do it here in a minute. We got that big rock in front of us, and behind us, we got a big rock. I mean, big rock. So we got a little windbreak for where we're at. Only thing I hope is there's not been a bunch of copperheads or rattlesnakes decide to winter up in these rocks, and then this fire gets them moving a little bit. We'll keep an eye out for that. We just come up here today. We're going to do a little vid for the Pathfinder Canteen Cook set that we got for Christmas. We're going to do a devotional or two. And we're just going to hang out. We're going to cook and just shoot the bull with you. And so talk a little bit about what we get out of not Bushcraft itself, but the Bushcraft community. We see a lot of posts and vids talking about that. We just wanted to give our part on it as well. If you're watching this, chances are we've talked or at least seen what another one is posted on one of the groups online, Light Into My Path Outdoors or Wolf Customs. Justin, Travis, and the gang. Good bunch of guys in that as well. So we all have a common bond. We like to get out and play in the woods. Whatever your reason. I know some people involved are into the survivalist and prepping, and some just want to get back to nature, and I just like being out and playing myself, learning. It's fun, it's enjoyable, but while you are playing, you're learning. I mean, simple things like throwing these cedar limbs on top of a fire to dry out my other heat. I don't have to fool with that when I go camping with a truckload of stuff. But cold weather, it's good to know. It's something you learn. Carrying a little aluminum foil square in your billfold, it takes up no space whatsoever. You never know what's there. This one I've carried around for 6 months or longer. But it does help in building a fire, getting a base for it. Because if you have wet ground, then what little bit of flame you do get with your tinder or whatever, just going to suck all that moisture up. So, and eventually put it out. This gives a good base. It reflects the heat from the original flame to the rest of the fire. Just little things like that. You can read about them. You can watch people do them on videos and such, but until you get out and do them, you don't. Number one, you can't practice it. I know it's not hard to practice carrying aluminum foil, but you don't see for yourself how much good it does do until you get out and do it yourself. But we're just going to talk a few things like that and shoot the bull and shoot a couple other vids and eat and wait for something to come by, maybe. One way or the other, we don't care. We're just here. But we'll be back with you here in a bit. I'm going to move out here and show you a little bit better of the spot we found. Now, we're just going to show you a little bit better view of the spot we got to camp for today. There's our little fire. We're using our coat. It's not cold enough to have to wear it, but it does work as a good moisture barrier to sit on. We'll step up here. Sorry, I keep kicking the tripod as I'm carrying it, but give you a little shot of what we got. Looking at little ridge right across from us, a bunch of laurel underneath, and something the times we have hunted up here before we've never had, but thanks to the rain the last couple of days, we've got all kinds of fresh water just right down there, and you can't see it. Probably couldn't even see the water there in the video. Let me see if I can see it there in that laurel. It's actually made a little creek. It's flowing water, and it's coming out of the ground right there. So that's good, clean, fresh water right there. It's coming out of this mountain. So that helps. But anywho, we're standing on the big rock that was in front of us a minute ago, and there's the rock wall kind of behind us to serve as a windbreak. Got a pretty good little spot, and yes, that is a plastic grocery bag. That's what I brought my food in, because it wouldn't fit in our haversack or canteen bag over there. But we're going to get back over here and tend to this fire a little more. The wood's starting to dry out and it's burning a little better. We're getting a nice bed of coal, so before too long we should be ready to cook, and we'll be back with you. Alright, we back here. We got the fire caught up a little bit. Went and robbed a little cedar tree of some more limbs. We got a nice bed of coal down there to cook on to get started anyway. So we're going to empty out our MSR pot, which is our spicing, cooking, and coffee kit. This thing's full of everything, so we're just going to take everything out for right now and lay it on our coat. Keep it halfway clean. And we're going to reach back in here to our mil-spec government surplus high-tech Food City grocery bag. We brought our food in. And we're going to get out some fresh hog sausage. When I say fresh hog sausage, I mean 2 weeks ago this thing was walking around eating. And now it's ground up and getting ready to get fried. It's been in the freezer, it's still froze hard as a brick, so we just set it in there and we're going to just set it here beside the heat. Let it start thawing, it'll start cooking a little bit, make its own grease. Just set it there close, not on it or anything. And it'll get the wood smelling good here shortly, and we'll be back. Man, words cannot express how good this smells. No words in the English language. This is that hog sausage. It's cooking. We've got campfire smoke. We just broke those 2 patties up into pieces. They're not done yet. Just took them off to stir them up a little bit. And to show you, man, I'm telling you what. You just can't beat this being in the woods and eating. And I like to eat wherever I am, but you can't beat this. Adjust my little fire here. Alright. Those long logs or sticks we had laying there, limbs, that were a little damp, they're drying out and starting to burn good now. We actually had to move some stuff off to keep it from getting too big to cook on. So we're doing good. Here in a minute we're going to throw some more stuff in there, that sausage, when it gets done, and we'll show you what we got. Get that sausage back on there, going to let it finish cooking, and then we're going to throw some other things in it. Just going to shoot the boil a minute while we're waiting. Like we mentioned earlier, we want to talk a little bit about not the act of getting out and doing bushcraft, but the bushcraft community. And I met some really great guys since this whole, I guess, explosion of it started on Facebook and YouTube and all that, and I got involved with it. One of the first was Justin Wolf, for what few of you don't know who I'm talking about. And he and I actually came to know each other through a trade, I think, on one of the old Pathfinder pages. But I had a large Alice pack and didn't need it, one that size, and I was looking for a medium one. Just posted on there, and he happened to have one, responded, and we worked out a deal. And one of the best things that ever happened to me. Justin's a great dude, as I'm sure all y'all know that have ever had any dealings with him. Got a great family. We both kind of came into this, as far as the YouTube side of it, at about the same time, and just real glad that we got up to know each other like that. And through him, I've got to know a lot of you other guys. Travis Henry, who for some reason likes to stand outside without a shirt. By the way, dynamite areola, pal, dynamite. But it just turns into, I guess, like a fraternity or of such, because people that's not involved in this thing don't understand. I get asked questions all the time. Why you carry this? Why you got that in the vehicle? Why do you do this when you're out in the woods? Why in the world, you're just going from here to the river or here to the house or here to work or whatever. But like I shared the other day, there was a guy local not too far from here at all. He went out hiking. It was early December, but the temperature had spiked up in the 70s, and him and his buddy went out hiking. And they got in a bad spot. Guy got hung up on a waterfall. I think it was like 400 foot up from the bottom. And because of the weather that had changed that evening, they couldn't get a chopper in to get him. They couldn't get to him from the bottom up. And he was stuck there overnight and most of the next night. Well, during that time, temperature dropped to the 30s. It was wet. It was foggy. Of course, he had the mist from that waterfall. And he was stuck there, and he was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And he said he was sometimes able to keep a fire going, but I'm sure had to fight it constantly, way worse than what I'm doing now. But that's why you have it. I mean, you go out when it's 70 degrees in shorts and a t-shirt, and you get stuck like he did. Well, it's December, number one. Temperature eventually is going to change. And this ain't a bragging. All y'all know what I mean when I say this. If that happened to me, and God forbid, because I don't want it to, but if I had this little hidden woodsman haversack that I've got back here and everything I carry in it, I'm not saying I would have the most fun in my life, but I'm in good shape. And anybody that practices this stuff and carries those things with them would be too. And it's just better to have it. It's like a pistol. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You know, something like that could save your life. And I'll get back into more of that here in a minute. Right now I got some cooking to do. Let me take this lid off, see what we got. Oh yeah. We're ready for everything else. Stir that stuff up. I about left it on there too long. The grease is starting to get a little dark colored on me. So let's get back in our meal spec grocery bag and see what we got. Ah, look at that. Hash browns. I could get some of this grease out, but I ain't gonna. I'm just gonna use it all. Now we got fresh hog sausage, fried up good, hash browns. No, I'm nowhere near done. We're gonna let those cook a little bit. We'll show you what else we got. I got on a little tangent about why I do this kind of stuff, and I really didn't mean to. My point was, people that's not involved in the things we do don't understand it. But we do have our own reasons. Like I said, this is more of a play thing for me. I'm not looking for, a government crackdown, have to go in hiding or end of the world type stuff. As I've said before, I'm a firm believer that the end of the world will be when Christ comes back to take us home, man. I won't have to worry about water and food and shelter and such like that the day after that happens, because I ain't gonna be here. But there may be other situations beforehand. One little slip up on an icy road and you're over a hill. My vehicle is loaded down with stuff like this. The things I've got here with me today usually stay in my vehicle, except for my meal spec grocery bag with hash browns and sausage in it. But it's just something that I enjoy doing, and a just in case type thing. But as far as the community goes, you meet some great guys. I've got some stuff here with me today. I'll show you a couple of them. This is just a little leather pouch that I traded for. In it, I've got antler handled ferrule rod and a mag bar and a handmade striker for those things, which is really cool. But all three of those things came from three different people on trade, people that's involved in the same kind of stuff that I am, that I enjoy doing. This right here came from a trade, and I know many of y'all have this and know what it is. This is the haversack that the Hidden Woodsman makes, and it's really awesome. A big pocket with a smaller one on the inside, another pocket here, and then another one velcroed, and it all comes down to, it's got the little plastic clips on them to keep it closed. Malcolm does a great job with those. That's from trade, and none of that stuff would have happened if it wasn't for the Facebook groups and forums and all that. And it's just genuine good people. 99%. It's like anywhere. I'm sure there's people that don't like me or I wouldn't like, and that happens in a workplace or a church or a family or everywhere. So of course there's going to be some out there, but the majority of the people you come across, if you're just getting into this bushcraft thing and just getting into the Facebook groups or whatever, you're going to meet a lot of good people, and they're very, very free with their knowledge. Anything that they've learned, they pass it on. Anything you want to ask about, if anyone knows anything, they'll tell you. It's not like we're in this to make bazillion dollars or nothing, because it ain't going to happen. But just a lot of good people. If you are just getting into this and maybe you're watching YouTube videos and all that, I do encourage you, if you've not already, to get into some of these Facebook groups. I have one myself, Light Into My Path Outdoors, Justin Wolf with Wolf Customs, you got Travis with Survive Without, Heather Hayes with, she just started it, it's Simple Living, I believe, Heather, if I'm not mistaken. But the majority of us are all in there together. You know, I'm a member of all those groups. A lot of those people in those groups are members of my group. And it's just something, when I post something in mine that I've done outside or figured out or learned or whatever, or have a question about, I usually post it in all the other ones as well. But if you're just getting into it, it is a good thing on those groups, and everybody's real helpful. And like I said, nobody's out to, the majority, nobody's out to outdo others. Larry Roberts posted a good thing yesterday about some that are, if you ask a question that may be obvious to us, they'll try to ridicule you or put you down or try to sound like they know it all and all that. Most of the people involved in this are not like that. So I do encourage you to get involved in some of those groups if you're just getting into this. I also invite you all to come out here and eat this with me, but you can't because you're not here. The hash browns are starting to cook. Now we're about ready to eat. Just a few more minutes. Brought a couple of fresh brown eggs with us. This one actually made it intact, even though I kindly tossed them down the hill earlier. Burned egg shell. This one didn't make it perfectly intact, but it's not leaking. Wasn't leaking. It is now. So, we got those. Break them up real good and stir them up and all the rest, and they're already starting to cook, of course. Man, I tell you what. I know this is going to be good because I fixed it 1,000 times, but I still like to smell it. Let's see, we got some spices that we keep in our MSR. Yeah, that was a bad idea. That's cayenne pepper. Thought it was, I just wanted to make sure. Ooh, it's hot on your tongue. Got some black pepper. And some salt. Warm, I tell you. Hot. Put the lid back on, let that sit for just a few minutes, and we'll be ready to eat. And wash some of that black pepper off my tongue. Oh man. We got plenty of water in this thing to drink on and do our coffee with and all that. Since we do have that little bit of running water that's coming out of the mountain down there, we're going to go get at least a canteen cup full of it. Make our coffee with it. We gotta boil it anyway, so might as well do it like that. That's probably perfectly fine to drink. Like I said, it's just the rainwater fell in the last 2 days coming out of the mountain, but you never know what's up the stream there or what has been in it. So since we're making coffee and gotta boil it anyway, we'll do that. That'll be after the meal. And we got this stuff off of the fire there. Hash browns, eggs, fresh hog, sausage. One more thing and we're eating. Jeez. Man, this is awesome. Put that lid on there, set it beside the heat just for a minute or two and let the cheese melt down. Well, I've stoked my fire back up. I'm chilling a little. I got my bibs and stuff I can put on. Well, we've eat good and now we ain't worth a dime for nothing. We had to get up and go get us a little more firewood, stoke it back up. We're gonna make a good run on it here in a minute. And we didn't want to wait on coffee, so we went ahead and took what water we had left we brought with us and made some. Cup doing well. Much better than the aluminum GI cup, because when you take it off the fire, you can go ahead and drink out of it. That aluminum cup, it holds heat for a long time. But these stainless ones, you can just go ahead and drink it as soon as you take it off. And it's good. While we were making coffee, we had a question that we seen on Wolf Customs group about the best way that everybody thought to make coffee. Just so happened I was making some. And I've talked about these little deals before, but the little Folgers tea bag packs are awesome. They're lightweight. Showed them a minute ago where I had them in the canteen bag. Work just like a tea bag. Just take them out and let them sit in there, and it'll taste like homemade, home-brewed coffee. None of this instant stuff. Really good, and they're not expensive. We're going to go out here in a minute and go get us a canteen full of water out of the creek and do a little boil test on it. Get us another armload or two of firewood. It's a little after 1. We may hang out till dark, I don't know. And now we're just going to sit here and chill for a bit. Yeah, we decided it's time to come get us some water. I've got some company of some sort. I haven't seen anything, but I keep hearing it. It's actually back up there towards the cat. We come down here next to the stream. A lot of tracks. I think not tracks per se, but indention in the leaves, and something's actually raked out something on the side of this stream to get a little puddle to drink out of. Right up there. Brought the gun with me just in case I get sneaked up on. Like I said, this is probably some very clean water. Especially after seeing those tracks. I'm going to boil it, not take any chances. Something might have used it for a bathroom. We'll use my little bandana here to filter out any dirt or leaves and all that. That's something else if I hadn't got into this I'd have never thought of. Common sense and simple, but Yep, we got our water up here that we just got out of that stream down there. We're boiling it. And we're about to close up shop for the day as far as this video goes. We're going to do a couple more, couple devotionals and such. We got to shut down the video in a little bit. As you can see, I'm not controlling the camera well. It's because the camera is dead. I'm using my cell phone now as a camera. But I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out with us today. Enjoyed the food. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. And like we was talking, you know, if you are just getting into this, the bushcraft, whatever they call it nowadays, wilderness survival or self-reliance, you know, it's fun, it's enjoyable, and you learn a lot from it. And there's a lot of good people out there that can help you out. You know, I mentioned Justin and Travis. You got Dave Mitchell from Native Survival, who's been doing these vids a long time. Always been helpful from the get-go. Got Derek Faria. Derek, I hope I'm pronouncing that last name right. Derek's been around since Sarge's Survival was his original YouTube channel, and now he has his own school. And they're all, you know, everybody here is just like a community of brotherhood. Nobody acts better than the others except for the occasional few, and just disregard those as you would in everyday life. But, you know, get out and do it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It may help you out one day when you get in a bind or in a pinch. But we thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch us next go around. God bless and have a good one.